We're here with Henry today, Esports Director in Clarke University. He's gonna add value to those international students and get a more transparent grasp of his program. So thank you so much, Henry, for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for having me. I'm definitely very, very glad to be here.
So before we start, can you tell us a bit about your journey into becoming an Esports Director in Clarke University?
For sure. Yeah. I think, like very many people, I grew up playing video games all the time. Started on, things like the Game Boy, kind of stayed in consoles for a very, very long time, with the PlayStation when that came out for the PlayStation 4. And eventually I got my first computer, which was just a PC, a laptop. That's kind of where my competitive esports journey really started. First started playing Counter-Strike in 2014. And when I went off to college, it wasn't really something that was super big at the time. I was focused on, graduating with a degree, finding, a regular job like everyone does. But some of the students at my undergraduate university started an esports club. And obviously, I play video games. I was pretty decent, and I wanted to, see what that was like. So bunch of my friends went. And from that point on, we had started the esports club in our campus. We had grew it to be very, very big. Our athletic conference started hosting competition. I started competing and really diving deep into what esports was. And I loved it. It was a lot of fun. It was really cool to kind of be in a team environment. I was never really in sports. I was more into music and theater. So it's cool to be able to, practice, challenge myself, and obviously, compete and win. We had some pretty big wins. We could do some cool things. And so after graduating, I knew I wanted to be in the esports industry. Didn't really know where yet, but just applied to some head coach jobs and got some fortunate luck to be able to land myself here. So for the past 3 years, I've been growing and building the program here at Clarke, and we've been doing pretty well. So I'm definitely very, very happy to have had the opportunity.
That's great. And uh, let's set a bit aside for now the competitive side. For the non-competitive, do you also empower or have staff positions for students that have skills in say graphic design, content creation, or production? Those areas that an esports program needs to succeed.
Absolutely. Yeah, we definitely are always looking for students to help us out. I think definitely one of the things that actually I love to do and things that I studied was things like that. I wanted to go into video production. I went into video editing, dabbled a little bit with graphic design because that was really my passion. I love just creating, a story and seeing that through. So I have a great, background in that. I produce and broadcast all of our matches. And I would love to share this information with any student. So we would love to have, students who want to actually, have the, you know, in hand valuable experience of doing the work, running a social media account, building different graphics for different kinds of, general things for, your big wins for, just like the fun events you might run. People who want to run events and host big tournaments, which is what we love to do. Um, or, kind of any general, managing, coaching, right? I think one of the best things about esports is the variety. And we really want to teach our students, what they want to learn. We want to help them, achieve the things they want to achieve when they graduate. So whatever we can do right now, while they're a student, we will give that to them 100%. So if that's, competing, great, let's compete. If you want to be able to, improve your soft skills, learn how to do these things to, pursue that job once you graduate, great. Let's do it right now. So absolutely.
That's right. And how do students, or what do you make students get from being part of your esports program, or what skills do you develop in them to prepare them for when they graduate
For
and get
sure.
into a workforce or whatever path they choose?
Obviously, I think it's a lot of different things, right? Generally, you'll get your degree, which is great. So you'll be able to, learn whatever kind of things that really are interested to you. So that's a great thing that you can do while competing. Um, I know one of the things that I love to focus on. There's a lot of different games out there. I'm pretty good at some. So obviously, I can coach our players to become mechanically better at those games and really truly understand like the depth of just the game sense that you can have, the macro, the micro positioning, communication, all those different things. But I really like to focus on the player themselves, right? I think what you can do outside of the game will make you so much better inside of the game. How can we make you a better person? How can we make you a better teammate? how can we really help you mature? How can we help you grow to become the person that you want to be when you graduate, right? Obviously, we've got fortunately some very, very talented players in our program who can obviously fill in the gaps to where, I might not have the expertise, but being able to make them a, very well-rounded and a full player, I think really is where we can see some of those really, really cool opportunities to truly grow and to truly improve. So I really like to focus on the person, not just a player, and then really see how that translates in game for us to have, the dual success.
That's great. That's great. That is that's very important. And also, when when preparing their schedules, like both like in academic and in practice and competition, like especially for first year students, it can be a bit overwhelming because they're not used to this type of schedules. Like, how do you work around the schedules? Like, how do students work with the professors and with you to get like a schedule that feels
Yeah,
balanced?
yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a collaborative effort, right?
Yeah.
We fortunately have some amazing people on campus who are very, very helpful. All of our professors, want our students to succeed. They're willing to help. You just have to reach out and ask them, hey, I'm struggling in this class. There's a test coming up. I don't feel super confident on this topic. Can I get some help? All professors will tell you yes. We've got great, tutoring and academic support, on our campus if students need additional help. But of course, we expect success. We will have student athletes in our program. They're both a student and an athlete. So academic success is definitely very, very, it's a priority for us. So what we like to do is we like to obviously have a consistent schedule. So, all of our players will know you will always be practicing on these days at these times. It's never going to change. We'll always know what game days are. So you'll know, okay, Monday is a practice day. Tuesday we have game day. Wednesday's practice, Thursday practice, Friday game day. Boom, done. That's your schedule. We also, expect different kinds of, study tables, team academic sessions to make sure that, hey, here is expected dedicated time in your schedule to do things, like homework, be able to work on projects, be able to do any kind of academic need that you have. We're also flexible, right? If you've got midterms coming up, hey, I've got a big test tomorrow. I need to, skip practice tonight. No problem. It's a collaboration, right? We do our best to make sure that we hit the minimum that we need for, practice time in competition. But we also want to make sure we provide more than enough time for students to succeed academically, have free time, like enjoy themselves, have a good experience. So I think we've got a pretty strong structure and we're pretty organized to help support that.
That is great. And also, your program, is it what does it fall under in university? Does it fall under the athletic department, student affairs? Where is it located?
Yep. So we are a athletic program. So we're like any other
Okay.
sport on our campus, and we're treated the same. So we have all the same benefits as our football team, as our soccer team, which is great. So all of our students are eligible for scholarships. We like to take care of our students. Giving them different apparel kits. We travel all the time for different lands. They have access to our athletic trainers and some different, priority access for class registration, different things like that. But we are definitely we're full varsity, full athletic program.
Nice. And how many lands do you do a year?
So we always like to do as much as possible. So this year alone, we already have 4 just this fall, and that's
Okay.
because that's just what we know about. So the more schools that tell us, hey, we've got a travel opportunity, we're going. So I'm hoping we get a couple in the spring, because I would love to travel at least two to three times a semester. So we've already got 4, and hopefully we'll have double that in the spring.
Yeah, that is great because like students often ask us and they're looking for that in-person experience. So it's not just online gaming, but like this in-person experience. So like for sure, it's very attractive, for those students. And also, how would you like describe your community? Because it talks about a lot about like how your esports program is. So like, how would you describe it?
Yeah, I think it's just an amazing family, right? Um, we are very much focused on the student experience in our campus in all different places. And I think that really does translate over into our just esports program as a whole. We have some really amazing students who are very much committed. They work so hard. They're always, practicing even more than what we have. They're in our facility, outside of class, just on the weekends, just because, they enjoy, just gaming. They enjoy competing, and they want to get better. They're very much helpful, and, they want to be able to raise their teammates up. They want to get those big wins. They want to be able to, put in the work to see the success pay off. So I think we've truly got something really special, right? Um, we like to do things and try to offer things that you won't find anywhere else. Just the way that we like to go about things, the way we truly like to have a student first perspective. This program is for our athletes. It's not mine, it's not the universities, it's for the students. So whatever they want to be a part of, whatever they want to experience, it's my job to give them that. So if they said, hey, this is what we want, great, let's do it. If like, hey, this thing that we've been doing isn't something that we're as interested in, great, we'll change, right? I want to do what's best for them. I try to get feedback and listen to what they want. And I think it's what's allowed us to be so successful in just 2 short years. We've already won a few championships. We've made it very, very far into playoffs. We have some very, very talented players. And it's just a testament to the work they put in, the type of people that they are. I think just the environment that we have, on campus and in our teams. So I think it's a very, very cool community. And I'm very, very excited to just, keep growing it and keep bringing in new students.
And how do you plan on growing it? Not like the specifics, but like what is your vision to grow the community, both like in parents, students, upcoming students, alumni? What do your ideal community look like?
Yeah. I think in general, one of my biggest goals when I started this program was I wanted to build the best esports program in our state. That was my goal. And I truly think that we will be able to be and say that we are the best in the state of Iowa this year, this upcoming year. So I'm excited for that. We've got, I think, some of the most competitive teams in our state. I think we have just consistently grown in size and just in capacity. We want to be able to start, hosting bigger and more events. Bring schools to our campus, be able to engage our community. We want to be able to give back too, right? Do things more for charity and for, philanthropy. We want to obviously keep bringing in new players, bring in stronger teams to be even more competitive at the national level, right? And get some really, really big wins, be able to qualify for, the big premier tournaments. And again, we are just in our third year of our program. We are very, very young, and we have, achieved so much. So it's just really continuing to set a standard for excellence, keep having, high expectations, keep setting and teaching students, the ways that, they should act, the ways that, they should be as a teammate, as a competitor, and as a person. And I think all of those things will allow us to, achieve the vision of what I hope and I know that I want to, build for our program.
That's great. So next year, best program in Iowa, and when the best program in the country.
That is the
Give me a
goal, and
year.
I'm very confident that we'll be able to achieve that.
Okay, nice, nice. And also, like you mentioned infrastructure. Like, can you tell us a bit? Because usually this gets the students pumped. Like the facilities you have, for the students.
Yes. So we actually just built our esports facility on campus this past year. So we have 11 computers, that are top of the line. We've got i7 core, we have 3060 graphics cards, 16 gig RAM. We have 1 gig internet on our campus up and down. So it's very, very good. We have consoles for our students to use as well. And our facility is open 24 hours for our students. So they can go in whenever they want, use the equipment. Obviously, we practice in there, we compete in there. We're all together in person, which I think is a really, really cool thing to do. And just a very, very cool space. It's right in the middle of campus. It's right near all the dorms, so students do not have to go very, very far. Um, and we're hoping to, continue to grow year over year. Add more PCs, hopefully get a bigger space down the road. Um, but it's a pretty cool space. A lot of our students just like to hang out in all the time.
That's great, Henry. So, like, thank you so much for your time and for sure staying in touch. Where can students find you and your program?
Yeah, so on all social media platforms, we are at Clarke Esports. That is Clarke, Clarke with an E. We stream all of our games, so we are always on Twitch. We have all of our VODs up on YouTube. They can reach out to me directly, whether it's through Discord. My Discord is Sir Aaron, SIRERIN, no capitals. And they can find us on social media, like I said, contact us, fill out our recruitment forms, and we love to speak with our prospective students and see if they want to become a student here.
Sounds great, Henry. Well, we'll stay in touch and thank you so much for your time.
Yes, and thank you for having me.